Good morning, Pastor Bud here. Another beautiful morning. Not quite raining yet, but it'll start very soon. We're all familiar with the verse in Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. I love that verse. It's a sense of confidence for me. All things work together for good. That in all things God will work for the good for those who love him. You know, that doesn't mean everything's good. There are bad things that happen in life. There's wicked things that happen in life. There's times when we rebel and when we run away from God. But God still works good for us. In the midst of all that, in the midst of everything else crumbling around us, God still works good for those who love him. When I was young, my mom died in a car accident. She was 5 and I was 5. And I remember going through life, my early years, thinking God really neglected me. God didn't care about me. That this had been taken away, that this very bad thing had happened in my life. And through a series of circumstances, tough family situations, it just grew and grew and grew with bitterness. And it wasn't until people in my life came alongside of me and showed me that, yeah, all of these things are terrible. Yes, my life had crumbled around me at a very young age, that those things that I had considered secure with my parents there and everything else, that those things, even though they were gone, God was still good. Not that those things were good, but God was still good. In fact, the quote that they would say often to me was, God did not give up on you. You might be tempted to give up on him, but God will never give up on you. Reminds me also of Philippians 1, starting in verse 3. I thank my God every time I remember you and all my prayers for all of you. I always pray with joy because of your partnership in the gospel from the first day until now. Being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. It is right for me to feel this way about all of you, since I have you in my heart, and whether I'm in chains or defending and confirming the gospel, all of you sharing God's grace with me. God can testify how I long for all of you with the affections of Christ Jesus. And this is my prayer, that your love may abound more and more in knowledge and depth of insight, so that you may be able to discern what is best and may be pure and blameless for the day of Christ, filled with the fruit of righteousness that comes through Christ Jesus, to the glory and praise of God. I love that line. He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. God hasn't given up on you. You may be lonely this Christmas. This Christmas may remind you of hurts of your past or present. It may give you anxiety and fear of the future. But God is not giving up on you. So here's my encouragement to you. God's not giving up on you. And I will continue to pray that your love may abound more and more in knowledge and depth of insight. And my second prayer is because our God doesn't give up on you. I pray with all of my heart fervently, please, please, please do not give up on God. Have a wonderful day today in the midst of this Advent season. God bless you.